Every country is different, and every country's laws are different. Sometimes these laws border on the seriously ridiculous, and other times they point to important cultural values that might be different than your own. We've compiled a list of 10 weird laws around the world you may not believe exist. But when you're traveling, you certainly don't want to wind up behind bars. Before I provide you the list, please subscribe the channel. Number 10. It's illegal to chew gum in Singapore. Gum has been banned in the Southeast Asian sovereign state since 1992, because Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew thought it would lead to mischief making, like putting chewing gum on our subway train doors so that they don't open. A single piece of gum could land you a fine of $1,000. Do it a second time and you'll owe the state $2,000. A third time means you'll be forced into hard labor, cleaning the streets while wearing a sign that says "I'm a litterer." It's a shame, because chewing gum can actually be a great way to activate your metabolism. Number 9. It's illegal to feed pigeons in Venice, Italy. With thousands of pigeons descending upon St. Mark's Square and Venice, lured by the tourists readily handing out food in exchange for Instagram-worthy photos, Venice lawmakers officially made it illegal to feed the pesky fowl in 2008. It is said the cleanup from the birds cost each citizen €275 per year, so now, the tables are turned. If you're caught feeding the pigeons, you could face fines of up to €700. Better to get the picture-perfect shot of Venice's beautiful bridges instead. Number 8. It's illegal to fly a kite in Victoria, Australia. All weird laws have to originate somewhere. So there existed some guy, living in Victoria, Australia during the mid-60s, who got so annoyed by strangers brazenly flying kites right in front of him, with no respect for his feelings, that he declared, there needs to be a law against this. And so there is, the Summary Offences Act of 1966, which forbids operating a kite to the annoyance of any person. Number 7. It's illegal to build a sandcastle in Spain. Spain despises your attempt at making sandcastles so much you could be fined if caught building one in Spain. And the fines vary by location at their discretion. On the island of Mallorca, for example, you could pay €100, but you could pay up to €1,500 in Galicia. Before you ask, yes, kids are included in this restriction, and parents foot the bill. Number 6. Wearing flip-flops in Capri, Italy. Okay, so we've heard about flip-flop bans in airports and certain professions where people are dealing with the public, but have you ever heard about an entire island banning flip-flops? Enter Capri, an island and popular tourist destination in Italy's Gulf of Naples. Noted as one of the world's strangest laws, it's illegal here to wear excessively noisy footwear, particularly flip-flops, as locals value their peace and quiet. And just to prove its existence, a couple were arrested while holidaying here for doing just this. Number 5. You must walk your dog 3 times a day. Turin, Italy. Love your dog? Well, you're not alone. In Turin there are several laws concerned with the health of man's best friend. If you want to avoid a fine of up to €500, you must walk your dog at least 3 times a day and don't even think about dyeing your pet's fur. Any form of animal mutilation, such as dyeing or oddly cutting your dog's fur, leads to a hefty fine. As of 2005, many Italian cities began enforcing laws against animal cruelty. While there are much higher punishments for animal violence and abandonment, animal fur modification is still viewed as a form of animal cruelty and is enforced. So, while the walking your dog 3 times a day might not be strictly enforced, I suggest you avoid dyeing your furry pal pink unless you want to pay a fine. Number 4. Close the gate or you'll be fined in Nevada, USA. In Nevada, it is a criminal act to pass through a gate and not close it behind you. Yes, you heard that correctly. The failure to close a gate can be prosecuted criminally in Nevada. The law was passed in 1861 and has been on the books for well over 150 years. Its origin and passage are likely a result of Nevada's history as a ranching state. Ensuring that an enclosed property remain enclosed can obviously be very important for ranchers. Number 3. You must smile all the time in Milan, Italy. If you want to avoid a fine in Milan, you must smile at all times. This weird law in Milan requires citizens to smile at all times, apart from funerals and hospital visits. So, remember to turn that frown upside down. While you may think this law was created to erase the glumness from the city of Milan, it actually was created as a way to bring prominence to the city of Milan during the Austro-Hungarian times. However, this law hasn't been enforced in years, so don't get too worried about keeping your pearly whites big and bright in Milan. Number 2. It is illegal to forget your wife's birthday, Samoa. Samoa, formerly Western Samoa, is in the South Pacific Ocean about 2,200 miles, 3,540 kilometers, south of Hawaii. In Samoa, you will get more than the silent treatment from your wife if you forget her birthday. It is unclear how long your sentence would be, but maybe some time apart for you to think about how to make it up to her wouldn't be too bad. Number 1. Climbing a tree in Oshawa, Canada. Oshawa is a city located on the Lake Ontario shoreline and is a nice destination for a vacation, but one thing for you to remember is to not climb a tree in the city. Who doesn't remember lazy summer days as a kid, climbing trees with your pals? And then paying the $250 fine, because despite living in a country with 318 billion trees, which breaks down to about 8,953 trees per person, apparently climbing even one of them is nothing short of a terrorist act. Friends, thanks for watching. Please leave your comments and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.